north to south, coast to coast. This is the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. Democrat frontrunner Joe Biden has released his health care plan. He did so today. It's intended to preserve the most popular parts of Obamacare, from Medicaid expansion to protections for patients with pre-existing conditions, and build on them with a new government-run public insurance option. Biden would empower Medicare to directly negotiate drug prices, allow importation of prescription drugs from abroad, and extend tax credits to help tens of millions of Americans buy lower-priced health insurance. This did not work the first time. Why? I mean, from a standpoint of, sure, it got passed, but what actually happened? Yeah, everybody got an insurance card. Could they use it? No. No, they couldn't. Why? Well, because their deductible went through the roof. Why did their deductible go through the roof? Well, because Obamacare mandated that their premiums go down. And there is nothing new under the sun. The money is going to be spent. You can either have high premiums and low deductibles, or you can have low deductibles and high premiums. There is no middle ground. You're either going to have a high premium and low deductibles, or you're going to have low premiums and high deductibles. And when we talk about high deductibles, we're talking $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Outrageous. To give you an idea of what we're talking about here, 2 years ago, we paid about $14,500 for premiums for health insurance. And this year, what we ended up doing was we ended up paying less, which was nice, except we had something like a $6,000 or $7,000 deductible. We still ended up spending right about $14,000 for medical care. It just came out of our pockets. The plan, which the Biden campaign says will cost $750 billion over a decade, so double it, will be paid for by reversing the Trump administration tax cuts. You know, the tax cuts that brought 3.5% productivity to the United States economy. Yeah, let's get back down to that 1% GDP growth, shall we? That'll help us. You bet. Yep. All you got to do to pay for it is raise taxes. Bernie Sanders said that what we ought to do is give Medicare for all. Well, Medicare for the people that have it now doesn't work. Medicare for all would not work for a greater number of people. Therefore, that would appeal to, I guess, the unbelievably ridiculous need for everybody to be treated the same, except, of course, for Democrat politicians. They'd be able to do anything they want. Biden said in a video, I understand the appeal of Medicare for all, but folks supporting it should be clear. It means getting rid of Obamacare. I'm not for that. You know what I'm trying to figure out? I'm trying to figure out why the government's involved at all. I'm trying to figure out what the government is doing in health care. Well, I know what they're doing. What they're working on is they're trying to have absolute power over the people of the United States. Because if you handle somebody's health care, then you got them. You absolutely got them. And oh, by the way, does anybody here think, does anyone think that a government like President Obama's government would have any problem whatsoever exploiting the Affordable Care Act and the provisions of the Affordable Care Act? Would anybody have any preconceived notions that that government would not punish someone by their interpretation of the Affordable Care Act if that person, say, for example, disagreed with the politics of the day? After you look at what happened with the deep state conspiracy, what happened with the IRS, there's no way you can say that with a straight face. This government will punish the citizenry for not going along with the political imperative. They absolutely will, and we've seen it. There is No, there's no argument for that. We've seen it. Progressives argue the Democrat candidate should aim for Medicare for all because it protects the party from starting with and settling for a more incremental compromise. Everybody that's running for president as a Democrat, every single one of them say that all this is a way to a single-payer health system, a government-paid health care system, where the government determines who gets paid what. They do that with Medicare. There are a lot of doctors and a lot of hospitals all around the nation that will not take Medicare patients because of it. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is pass laws forcing them to take it. Oh, well, how many doctors will say, I'm going to pass and just walk away? Many of them. That's why every single country that has tried this gives away medical school education so that they can get doctors to fill the needs of the system. Or, oh, by the way, we'll use physician's assistants, or we'll use nurse practitioners, or we'll use chiropractors. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, chiropractors. Campaign staff on a conference call with reporters stressed that Biden would not settle for a watered-down compromise as president and that his plan would help 97% of Americans get health coverage. No, it won't. Remember, the Affordable Care Act was there to take care of 48 million Americans without insurance. At the end of the day, Obamacare helped 18 million Americans. There are 330 million Americans right this minute. Does that make anything close to economic sense to you? The answer is no, especially when you consider somewhere in the vicinity of 30% of Americans will not participate under any circumstances, and the numbers worked out exactly right. And oh, by the way, I dictated those numbers before that law went into effect. I was right again. So, here's the way this works. We're starting with the Affordable Care Act as a base, going to insist the elements we sought last time are passed, and we'll get them this time. Republicans, healthcare industry lobbyists, immediately started shooting, figuratively, of course. The Biden administration plan would allow all shoppers on the individual insurance markets to qualify for premium tax credits, which are currently capped at 4 times the federal poverty level, which is $50,000. Undocumented immigrants would be newly allowed to purchase coverage in the ACA marketplaces, although they would not be eligible for federal subsidies. Yet. Speaking with reporters, campaign staff slammed the Trump administration's effort to strike down the ACA in court and also addressed Biden's differences with rival candidates. First of all, to have Democrats say that if indeed the court strikes down the Affordable Care Act as unconstitutional, that somehow that's just terrible, belies the ridiculousness and the hypocrisy of the Democrat Party, who use the judicial system to pass laws all the time. Hypocritical. Speaking with reporters, they also addressed Biden's suggestion that there would be a hiatus of 6 months, a year, or 2 or 3, that would put patients at risk if Democrats pursued Medicare for all, a claim that Sanders swiftly attacked as misinformation. Sanders, if you honestly believe that this American government is going to vote for Medicare for all without a years-long food fight, you are dreaming. But then again, when was the last time you saw a socialist politician firmly rooted in reality? That's right. There has never been the case where some leftist Soviet politician was able to actually accomplish something that did not immediately blow back. It was so funny. I was watching Chernobyl, the HBO special, the HBO series, perhaps one of the best things that HBO has ever done. And there's this joke, the miners who are about to give their lives for their Rodina, the motherland. They're going to dig under that destroyed reactor, and this was a true story. They're going to dig under that destroyed reactor. They're going to put in a heat exchanger to keep the atomic slag from burning through the concrete floor and into the water table of eastern Ukraine. There's this joke. They're sitting around drinking after a hard day of work. And believe me, the miners worked hard in the Soviet Union. And they said, what is loud and puts out all kinds of noxious smells and is a gigantic machine that cuts an apple into 3 pieces? And they thought for a moment, and then somebody says, a Soviet government machine designed to cut an apple into 4 pieces. If that doesn't immediately explain just exactly why the government should not have anything to do with anything meaningful, and just because it was the Soviet government does not mean that our government was much better when it comes to actually getting something done. How hard is it to build a fence at the southern border when you got people overrunning it like it's a game? They've been doing it for 3 decades. How hard is that to get done? It will be a gigantic fight to pass Medicare for all because it doesn't work. And yes, in the year, 6 months, 2, 3 years that it would take to be able to pass Medicare for all, the American people would be essentially uninterfered with to do deals for their own health care, which is the way it ought to be. The government does not need to have anything to do with our health care. None. The more they do, the more they have to do with our health care, the more expensive it gets. The American government needs to get out of health care. Period. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 844-RADIO-US. 844-723-4687. Building on the Affordable Care Act is the quickest way to get more people insured and to improve affordability. Really? Then why hasn't it happened with the Affordable Care Act? The ACA is the quickest way to not take on any powerful health industry group or disrupt coverage for those who already have it. You disrupted coverage for people that already had it when you passed the ACA in the first place. Does anybody see the absurdity in this besides me? Because it sure looks absurd to me. Telephone number 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. There is one of the squad demagoguing the president.
Listen to what Chris said about Andro 400.
I've lost almost 40 pounds in 10 weeks. My son was getting married, and when I went for the suit fitting, I was a size 48. And when I went back to do the final fitting, I was a 44. I have more energy, that's for sure. I probably lost 4 inches around my belly. I'm 57, and I'm back when I was in my 30s.
Here's what Dwayne said about Andro 400.
This product really works. I'm an old guy and I don't trust nobody. And I've tried all kinds of stuff. It's one of the few things I've ever bought that works. I couldn't believe it. I feel better. I have more energy. I walk 12 miles a day. I feel great. It's changed my life. It really has. It's really incredible.
Guys, if you'd like to lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great, try Andro 400, the safe, natural, and affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435. andro400.com.
Here's a great deal on MyPillow. When you go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, type in promo code USA, you'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for $69.98. Now that's only $34.99 a pillow. You will not get that price anywhere at retail. It's the lowest price ever offered on radio or TV. And like all MyPillow products, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, use my promo code USA.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Does your business spend $500 a month or more on gas and electric bills? Did you know by making a simple free phone call, you can save up to 25% on your bill every month? What could you do with a 25% savings on utility bills every month? Energy deregulation is now available in your state. Making one simple phone call will show you how we can lower your gas and electric bills instantly with no changes to your bill and no enrollment fee. This is a free service. The only thing you'll notice is a lower bill every month. Call U.S. Power and Light right now. Learn how easy it is to lower your utility bills for your business and save money. We promise. So if you spend over $500 a month on your gas and electric bills, please call right now and unleash your savings.
800-941-3381. 800-941-3381. 800-941-3381. That's 800-941-3381.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right. Call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip, or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. Again, that's 800-871-3291.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. This ought to be amusing. Ilhan Omar is now addressing the assembled multitude of the press in a response to President Trump's racist attacks, says the super on CNN. Biased much? Here, let's hear what they have to say.
In our country, the eyes of history is watching us. Right now, the president is carrying out mass deportation raids across this country in each one of our districts. Right now, the president is committing human rights abuses at the border, keeping children in cages, and having human beings drinking out of toilets. This president, who has been credibly accused of committing multiple crimes, including colluding with foreign government to interfere with our election. This is a president who has overseen the most corrupt administration in our history and pursued an agenda to allow millions of Americans to die from a lack of health care while he transfers millions of dollars in tax cuts to corporations.
Ilhan Omar, thank you. I'm so sorry, but that will be all. Unflipping believable. That's just outrageous. What? Come here, Chris. Did you get it? Thank you. In case you are wondering what I'm talking, thank you so much. I don't know. I would assume. Does this woman have kids? Okay, so what just happened there was something the president referred to today, which was filthy language by a sitting member of Congress in public in front of the press. Now, you didn't hear it. The reason you didn't hear it is because the people on Facebook heard it. But the reason you didn't hear it is because Christopher Kennedy O'Sullivan, who is the operations director of the USA Radio Network, was able to dump it. But I got to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so all these people that are trying to vilify President Trump for being a vulgarian, they're simply jumping right into the gutter with him. Okay, therefore, Mox Nix. You know what it means? It cancels each other out. I really wanted to hear what these people had to say, but I can't play it live on the air without editing it. I can't play it without dropping the unbelievable language that these people spew. The president has not, in his office, worked to give tax cuts to people while millions of others died because they didn't have any health care. That has not occurred. These people spew without any kind of basis of reality in any way, shape, or form. And the vulgarity is simply and completely, well, it speaks for itself. Gosh, that was awful. It's just awful. Ilhan Omar, what is she doing in Congress? What is she doing in Congress? Nobody's drinking out of toilets at the border. The children are not in cages. They're not. And oh, by the way, anytime those families want to go home, all they got to do is say, hey, we're going home. You know what would happen next? Somebody would give them a ride. That's what would happen next. These are the same people that refuse to vote to send money to the border to ease any of this suffering. Terrific. Okay, that's all I've got. I really was hoping that I was going to be able to play some of that because you know how I care about getting both sides of this, but I'm just simply not going to put up with that vulgarity. Not going to do it. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. We'll be back with more in just a couple of moments. This is the USA Radio Network.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS and you cannot afford to make payments to the IRS, you may qualify for the CNC tax program. This is a new program, and if you qualify, you won't make any payments to the IRS while in this program. Once you're accepted into this program, the IRS is forced to stop all harassing collection activities. No threatening phone calls, no wage garnishments, no bank levies, and no more monthly payments to the IRS. Get ready to write this number down. It's the most important number you'll ever need to end your IRS tax nightmare. Call Paramount Tax Relief at 800-547-4804 for a free confidential consultation to find out if you qualify for the CNC tax program. Once you are accepted into the CNC tax program, you won't make any payments to the IRS while in this program. Call Paramount Tax Relief now at 800-547-4804. That's 800-547-4804. Again, 800-547-4804.